department, the fire department, and some other agencies, one person can contaminate a whole shift, and you got to quarantine all of them. And so it does provide guidelines in there for people who have been quarantined that, and some of it is almost impossible to put every conceivable scenario into a policy. So you have to give some latitude to the department head. And one of the things that they can do, and it gives them the ability in this policy that you have had a person who has had both vaccinations and he's been exposed, but at the same time, he can come and work in an area, having to wear his mask 100% of the time. He can work in an area like his office or like in his patrol car or whatever and still come back to work. But at the end of 5 days, he has to go and get tested because it takes about that long for any symptoms of test to show positive. Now, for people who have not been vaccinated, pretty much don't have any choice for them except to put them in quarantine during that time. I know the issue had come up about whether or not during that period of time is there a provision to pay them. And I had somebody bring up that in the first governor's emergency declaration that there was a provision and that provided 14 days of pay. I don't know.
I don't know if it was recommended or if it was mandatory. I think it was recommended.
Okay.
I think it was when that first drawdown that we
Yeah.
got that
Right.
money, it was under that
Used.
grant or whatever they call it, that drawdown. But on this one,
I've not seen anything like that. And city policy requires that in this particular instance that we have to use the sick leave. Now, as we get into, and this is something that we can discuss with Mr. Scott, if it's related to COVID, we may be able to reimburse the city for that leave and reinstate their leave because we're taking it from COVID funds.
Some businesses said they just started getting abused. Oh, I got exposed, so therefore I can get off and get paid for that time frame. But
And see, I think we can't do it forever.
Yeah.
So, you know, my suggestion would be in discussion with Mr. Scott that we set up a plan that would pay you for the time that we had to put you in quarantine. And after that period of time, you know, your leave has to cover. So, but those are the things that's laid out in the memorandum guidance and in the policy. So, and that was the reason for doing it, because if we don't do some things to protect us, our city services could just become paralyzed.
Have all of our city employees been vaccinated?
No, ma'am. You'd be surprised.
How can we get them to get that vaccine? How can we get them to?
There's nothing we can mandate them to take the vaccine. The only thing I can mandate is that we can't require them to wear the mask. But other than that, there's no provision that I've been able to find anywhere that I can mandate that they have to take the vaccine. But, you know, if they did take the vaccine, it'd make it a lot simpler because you don't have to deal with two different issues.
Yeah.
But since you have some who opted not to take it, then you have to have plans in place for the ones that are vaccinated and the ones who are not vaccinated. And that was the reason that we came back with the memorandum of guidance and policy. So what I will be presenting to the council tonight is to adopt the policy, the COVID-19 policy for the city employees.
They don't know that this stuff is for real. And they must not be looking at the news and nothing like that.
all the early rumors have contributed to this. From the thing that they were microchipped to you have permanent problems.
Relative,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everything else, you know, you could be sterile and all kind of things like that that were out there in the beginning and of it. So I know some meal at point blank said, I'm not taking it. And if they get it, they're begging and say, I wish I should have.
they're saying they don't know what's in it, but, you know, they're.
Comment made by somebody, you know what's in a hot dog, and you eat that all the time.
Yeah.
You don't know, you don't wanna know what's in a hot dog.
But, that's kind of where we stand there. Next item that I want to go through and discuss is about the incubator building, painting it and J and L removing the AC unit off the building. I don't know, is Tim out there?
I can
Yeah.
do Tim Ball. Hey, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
J and L still functioning out there?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't see any movement there. For a while, you saw equipment and stuff out there, but you just don't see.
He has so many jobs that's off-site.
Yeah.
Cause I went out there and talked to him today, and that was one of the things. He's got jobs going on from everywhere, and then he was telling me they got tied up all weekend. We had emergency things come up. But, seems to me,
Well, good, that's great, great, you know, they were talking about they were slack, they were gonna be fabricating stuff out there and all that stuff.
But just to give you some idea on the incubator building, and you got Ms. Thompson here too. The thing that we were looking at is, the, painting of the building on the front side. And we have a quote on that. Now, Tim has talked with you in the video. Oh, Tim?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
It's okay. We were talking about the incubator building and the painting on it.
Yes, sir.
And, we have a quote from, what's the gentleman? The company that was gonna do it.
Gross. Gross.
But the painting of the building on that front side to include trimming the windows and the doors and not pressure washing, but you're gonna have to use the brush to scrape some of that loose off and everything.
Right.
The total was gonna come to like $7,000. And, we do have the check with Amanda today. We do have funding available that we can go ahead and take care of that. I talked to J and L today because we got some air conditioner units up on top that are old and rusted, they're leaking around them. And he would be willing to remove those. And I think the price on it would be like $5,200. I was talking with Amanda, and he would be willing, if we waive November and December rent, that would cover that cost. So I think we've done that with him before in the past.
Yep.
And then you talked to Strength Roofing.
Then strength roofing can cover up the holes where the air conditioning stuff goes through. The best price is $2,000 with a UPDM rubber roof, so it would be blocking over the top with plywood. There are 4 big units, and then there's some smaller holes. So it would be blocking that and then putting that roofing over it and adhering it and gluing it down.
So we're looking at a total of approximately about $9,000 with painting and repairing the roof. And then we waive the rent for J and L to take those units off the top of the building.
And J&L happens to have a rented huge lull in Bruton, and they could bring it over on Friday and pop them off. Bring that lull over and pick them off on Friday and Saturday. Strength said he could get his guys here on Saturday to cover the holes, although we don't have any rain forecast. It might be good for everything just to air out up there, so.
That was something I was gonna bring before the council and see if I can get your approval. I think we can have all this done by August 26th is when we're looking at open. And the way I understand is that right now we're looking at having a lot of people coming in and take a look at it. State level.
A lot of people, state, college level.
Are we good with those proposals and discussion? Well, that's one of the things that we go out and present to the council. Okay.
I had a phone call today from a lady from Limestone Folk Church. And they have put out signs basically in the right of way, and they wanted to put some on the square. But anyway, it's a temporary event, and they are doing COVID testing and COVID shots at Limestone Folk Church, and she asked if she could get permission to do that. I told her I'd have to ask you guys. She's already put them out
Yeah.
in several locations.
Right now.
She didn't realize that she had to have permission to do that. So are you guys okay with that?
Probably this time. Biggest thing is will she remove them when it's over?
She will. She said.
If they don't,
If
then
y'all said no, she said she'll come get them this afternoon.
no, but we should remove them when the event's over with.
Yeah.
A lot of
yeah,
people
yeah.
want to do that, and then they'll stay there forever. So
Yeah.
I think under these conditions, we need to let them have the opportunity.
Amanda, remind me to bring that up when we get the council meeting, so we can go and give approval on
I can bring it up at my
Okay.
time if I
Okay.
need to, if y'all.
it.
That
Okay.
works.
That will work.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Is
Thank
Sam
you.
out there? Yopper? Sam,
Sam
yeah.
Yelver.
He's there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's ask him to come in.
They're out there. I'm still working.
No comment. I wasn't gonna make a comment. I was gonna leave that one.
Webster.
Sam's on his way, but he and I have been talking
Okay,
about.
all right, okay, that's great.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, how you doing today, sir?
Doing great. How about y'all?
All right.
Good
I
to see
just-
you.
Ask you to come in so we can kind of give the council, I know you've been working on updating a lot of our IT infrastructure and everything.
Yes, sir.
And I was just gonna see if you kind of give the council an update as to where we stand right now.
Absolutely. When we met last time, we came to an agreement with Frontier AT&T. And the problems that we've had going on, I've got 2 pages of contacts that I've been having to deal with to get this bid in and get it going. And this is not the local people. I can't even get the local people to come out here and help me rewire, which we're gonna do tomorrow finally. But when we agreed to that $699 for the police department and the fire department and city hall, that was their bid. Then they come back to me and Tim and I had a Zoom meeting with them. And now they're telling me that we're gonna be responsible for putting in the conduit in the MPD from the server room through the walls out and then digging a trench out to the street. Because they will only connect at their entry point. So with that being said, I told them to hold everything off. And I have went back to my company in Mobile, Sour Systems, and they presented me with a bid that is very doable and livable, and it basically is the same thing, but they provide wiring from their fiber all the way into the building, into the server room. So with that being said, I highly recommend we cancel the contract with Frontier AT&T. I know the problems that we've had all along with Sandy and all trying to just get somebody out here to fix stuff. So I've asked them to relook at their quote. It's kind of, I go back to being able to count on people that I know. And I know every one of these people in this company and have been knowing them for 30+ years. So with Cyrus, they came back with a quote to me today. And I've got the Frontier quotes that you signed for $699 on here in the police department. And Cyrus Systems has come back with an excellent bid, which is instead of $690 for City Hall, it's going to be $780. But the police department is where the big savings is, because they've got a line. If you look out in front of the police department across the street, there's a telephone pole there. And right there is where their cable comes up. So they're saying they can just run the fiber up the pole, over to the pole that Tim and I verified, and then into the building, and they pay for everything. And they're quoting me at $539 for 100 megs. So
So it's a $699 for everything, or now you got different?
$699 was, one was, it was $699 for City Hall and $699.
Oh, okay.
So now we're looking, and they got some work to do here to get it in, but that's why I say they, and I'll be glad to pass these around if you'd like, but I left you a copy, Mayor. That's right there. But again, I'm looking out for the best interest of the city, and this is a 3-year contract, not a 5-year. So therefore, it's even better. But I know these guys, they'll get it in, get it done. And I even talked to MediaCom today, just as a backup. And he told me that Mary had called him over a year ago. And I just talked to him about getting some prices just for a fall over for redundancy. And he's going to get back with me. But the price we've been paying Frontier for 20 over 20, they just ripped us off. I mean, it's we're getting into the age of broadband for everybody, you know, especially low income counties. And so with that, it's why I asked Charles to let me come back and talk with y'all, because I believe we will be so much better in the future, not having to deal with Frontier. They're bankrupt. You can't get, I call people from New York to Tampa, Florida. One of them's in Houston, Texas, and one of them's in San Francisco, and the other one is in New York. So to get all this combined, it's just been a nightmare. I have as many as 15 people. Every time I send something, one of them, I copy all 15 people. So that's brought up people responding back to me a little bit quicker. But I highly recommend that we look at going with Cyrus Systems, and that's Unity Fiber, because they're a partner with Unity Fiber. And again, it's going to be a washout with a 3-year contract.
Now, Sam, the issue about our servers and the backup, and where we stand on that.
Okay, where we stand on that, I've stabilized the server as much as can be possible. We looked at even trying to upgrade it. It was put in 2010, so we're hitting 21 years old. And you go to rebuild it or upgrade, you're going to have hardware issues. So what I've done is we have a backup on every computer that backs that computer up every night. Then I have a backup on the server that backs that up every night. And then Amanda is backing up Monday and Friday, an extra copy for us to have. So the data we've got, I'm not concerned about the data, you know, but again, trying to, when we look at migrating it up into the cloud. There's no way with that speed we've got or that server that we could actually migrate it as you would a normal server, because you just don't know what works and what don't work. But I feel confident we got all the data backed up on a daily basis.
So do we need to upgrade the server?
I believe we need to go with Cyrus system, and hopefully, well, Frontier was the middle of October before they could get it installed. So with maybe some help from you and Tim and getting these permits that they need, I think we could speed that up also.
So Cyrus will provide servers?
No, he's going to do the migration up to the server in the cloud.
Server in the cloud.
Correct.
So if we go to the cloud, we won't need these servers.
We'll tear it out and send it to Mobile. And so, and then basically, like the MPD, everything over at MPD is in the cloud.
Okay.
So if they go down over there, they can come over here and connect.
So, what's the cost associated with the cloud service?
Well, we're looking into that because as I told you, AWS has set us up a tool
Okay.
that we will actually be able to start loading data on it.
Okay.
And it gives you a cost analysis of each thing. But we're only running 81 gigs of data on that server. So, you know, you're not talking about 8 gig of data. So I think it's going to be a minimal cost, but migrating that is, that'll be a price that Cyrus Systems will give us when we get everything set up.
Okay, can Cyrus Systems give us somewhat of an estimate so we can prepare for the 2022 budget?
Absolutely, but it'll be probably the end of this week. They're setting that up this week
Okay,
or mid part of next week before we can actually get in there.
okay. Well, we'll need it before October 1.
Well, and with city, with the police department, I've told them we put that on hold. It stays on hold till we get done with City Hall.
Okay,
And then we can put that into the next year's budget.
okay. I don't know. Earlier I was talking with Lieutenant Howard. I don't know if he's out there or not.
Yeah, Brian's out there.
Move along.
Cause he had a question about the service over there. I don't know, did he talk to you?
Yeah, which had,
Yes, manager?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure that, you know, we're all on the same page.
Absolutely. absolutely. It's, it'll be a big boost to the police department,
Okay.
just in the fact of the body cams and, but I did talk to him, you know, again, with this and the Meraki servers, we looked at that camera system that you put out and get car tags and write tickets. Well, Cisco Meraki now has a product like that. So once everything is installed, then we can look at our options. We'll have enough bandwidth. As far as I know right now, and talking to Brian out there, is everything over there now is in the cloud. So, I mean, if it goes, they got a generator, but if they lost connection, they could go somewhere else over here and work. So
One other thing I was gonna go through and ask you about, I know you sent me an email on it, and it had to do with the updates and everything on our phone directory. Is there anything else that we need on there? I know it's.
well, that's coming down to finalizing every phone number that we're paying for. A lot of that was for the voicemail systems that have been set up.
Okay.
Everybody needs to have their own voicemail set up in their name. And then once that's completed, I just got a printout from Frontier of every phone number that we're being charged for.
Okay.
So I now will be able to compare this to this.
Okay.
So I walk in and I didn't realize, because I called Mike's cordless phone out at City Hall, today, and, it connected me with a Verizon. And I didn't realize, this must have been done since I was gone before, but we're paying, $1,439 a month for Verizon cell phones, on top of the, what is it, man, the $1,500 phone bill?
Verizon is, that holds all our stuff for the cameras and the police cars. And then we have cell phones. Yeah, there's only a few people that have cell phones. But most of that's all
Okay.
with the police department for their
Yeah,
cameras.
Brian told me that.
Yeah.
So, again, it's $1,400. I just would, I'm gonna look at it anyway and confirm.
So the only thing we need to do with this, now, do we need to verify the ones that have voicemail and the ones that are not set up for voicemail, like some of this is training rooms and all this.
Right, but if someone call on the website, you go to the website and it's got the fire department, and it's got all those numbers listed,
Okay,
and the police department, it has where you can click to call Mandy, you can click to email Mandy, just as the city does, so that we're providing the citizens with direct contact
We need to move on.
to the people that need it. And, so I have gone through all those and gotten the voicemail, all the ones identified. We just need to get the department heads to help us set those that are not set up.
okay.
Are we getting charged twice? I heard you say something about, with cell phone, with the data, with the cameras for the police department. And then so the cloud, which y'all charge, they're gonna be a separate charge. But as with the data with the, with Frontier, not Frontier,
Right.
Verizon. How we
Verizon just
getting
gives
charged?
the internet service so that they can update, so they can pull up that ticket system that
Yeah.
they have.
Okay.
Well, and to answer that question, once we get the 100 megs in there, we may look to going at 200 and getting away from all the cell phones and putting a tower up here, on the tower to broadcast wireless for phones. So that's just the next option to this play, being able to get all the Whetstone Street, all the fire stations. But yeah, we'll have enough power then to do it. But when you do that, then you can consolidate down on some of the others. The whole thing is gonna come down to saving money.
Yeah, like the data, like they dump their cameras every day, right?
Well, they don't dump them, they dump them to a cloud server that holds them.
So how much cloud service do we have? Is it unlimited?
I think Brian told me last night, he quoted a number on it, but it was pretty much unlimited, and then it has a repository for anything over last year goes back into that repository, and it's held for, I don't know what the law says, I think it's 3 or 4 years that you have to hold that video. But this will put many options in the MPD and the city hall. And it'll lead us to bigger things down the road, because, internet's gonna be coming down as we start to look and move forward. And I think with this proposal, we're open to either go up or down. I called MediaCom today. I'm not gonna let that Frontier know that we're gonna cancel until I get the rest of what I need out of it. If the guy's gonna give me a 50 meg price, and then we'll look at it from there.
All right, well,
I
thank you,
look at it on
Sam.
my phone.
I got a couple of things I gotta do. here.
Yes, sir. Well,
Appreciate that.
anybody got any questions?
We're out of time.
I'm
Not
sorry.
almost out of
Mel,
time.
you hungry?
No, we got 4 public hearings in a row, and one of them starts right now.
I'm out of here. Good to see everybody.
All right, real quick, the League of Municipalities is advertising for Economic Development Academy. And it costs basically about $2,500 The mayor and at least 2 city council members have to sign up for it in order to get into it. And this goes through, there's an orientation, there are 4 classes that come up to do with this. I talked with Councilman Bruton and Councilman Ruffin, they agreed to serve into it. And I think it's 1 class, 1 day per quarter. And this will go through and help us in moving forward, especially moving forward with economic development. So I would entertain a motion to allow us to spend $2,500 to enroll into that.
And others can participate too.
Right, others can participate, we have to go through and identify who the others are, but you have to have at least the mayor and 2 council members to be considered. The other thing, and the recycling of the electronics, I was gonna ask Michael to talk about that, but I guess I can do that in council session when I get down to the department head.
Or if you need to come back at the end, whatever.
Yeah, and then I was gonna get with Dawn Bruton and let her discuss the tractor show. One other thing in here that I wanted to make you guys aware of, and that is about franchise agreements. And I had spoken with an individual, his name was Greg Bender. I met him when we were up in Huntsville and had a chance to talk about franchise agreements. And it appears that we're missing out on some revenue. And that he can go through and he can negotiate these franchise agreements and increase our revenue coming in from them. He charges a maximum of $8,000 to do these. He's an attorney that specializes in this, and he charges by the hour. So I would ask us to go back. If we don't do it today, I can make you a copy of the agreement and everything, and we take it up at the next council meeting. But I think this is something we need to consider. So we're missing out on.
Yeah, we don't have time, but I'd like to ask what it has to involve.
Yeah, I'll get a copy of the agreement. I have it in this council. Okay.
Spending $1,500 without the town.
Yeah. Do we have a limit set right now with the mayor can spend? If not,
They're saying in the past, y'all would let the mayor, because somebody like Dawn came and wanted to buy some ornaments, but it's not in the budget. And I think it was like $800, and he just wanted to go ahead and prove it without, and just let y'all know at the next council meeting. But I don't remember anything like that. That's why.
Let's discuss this further.
Okay.
it's on the radar. That's-
I got it. Thank you though.
Is it on?
That should be.
No, I had that. First hour. I had our new preacher to it, right? Now.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have public public hearing scheduled today. I would like to give you, start the public hearing off with just an anticipation.
Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day. We ask for your wisdom, please, with this body to do things that you would have us to do. We ask for your help with this COVID virus that we're facing, and help the people that are ill, heal them, help us find a way out of this. Thank you now for everything you do for us. In Jesus' name.
Pledge allegiance. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on the agenda for public comments is review of the sales tax rebates for Old Taste and C LLC doing business as Mrs. Teresa's Homemade Treats, and also for Christopher's TR Diner LLC. Okay, do we have representatives from businesses here?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any public comments regarding the review and sales tax rebate?
One thing I have a question, I'd like for, give opportunity to explain some about your business and hours of operation, stuff for us to know that, if you don't mind.
Mr. Teresa's Homemade Treats, we are doing a kind of a grab and go business. We're doing casseroles, sandwiches. We're open from Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 8. We're hoping to maybe add more things later on as we continue to grow, but this Thursday will begin our 5th week in business. And just to brag a little bit, one of the customers said my chicken sandwich was just much better than Popeye's. So we're excited about that.
I've had it and it's good.
Thank you, thank you. We'll be adding some things this week. We're gonna add a hamburger casserole and we're adding cheesecake this week.
Any other comments or questions for Mr. Reese?
Are your casseroles already prepared? I mean, they're prepared, we cook them? Or
They're prepared for you to take home and cook, or I'm able to bake them in the shop.
Okay.
You have to let us know ahead of time.
Okay, next we have Christopher's TR Diner LLC.
The PR is gonna be a restaurant, actually 51 where we're gonna be adding breakfast to it on the front side. I named it Christmas and I did change the name. So we're gonna do a 30 and up crowd. It's gonna be live entertainment. And we're gonna have where they can play a game of pool, get a drink. That's pretty much it. It's a restaurant with a fun side. But a duck crowd.
You have a prepared menu at this point in time, or is that gonna be kind of
I got
work in progress on
I
that?
got similar to the same thing that I have at the 51. I'm adding breakfast items
Okay.
from 6 o'clock a.m. to 10:30. And I'm doing add fish and grits and shrimp and grits, chicken and waffles. We're doing pretty much the same thing, with add a few more extra items to it. We have a band maybe like 3 times a week. Well, that's about it.
Any more questions, comments? Thank you. Okay. All right.
We have all the dollar limits and everything else in proposing that? I mean,
It's the same as the last one.
okay.
And what's the dollar on that?
2%.
I'm sorry, say again.
Just a little bit. It's 2% for the first year after they've reached $175,000 in sales, and then 1.25 for the second year, and 1% for years 3, 4, and 5. And the maximum that they can receive in rebates is $10,000
$175.
each year. Excuse me, 10,000 each year.
No, we vote on it.
We can't vote on it in public hearing. We have to vote later.
It's on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There being no further comments, do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing on the Q of sales tax rate?
I make the motion we, during this meeting of sales tax.
Okay, do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Thank you. At this time, I would open for discussion for public comment. A review for sale for tax abatement for XL Ice. We have representative XL Ice, Chris? Yes. All right, you tell us what your proposal is?
Yes, we are investing half a million dollars into our facility in the industrial park. We've kind of outgrown the current facility. We've got to modify the building. We currently have 5 ice machines, and we're going to buy 1 ice machine that will replace all 5 of those ice machines and double our production capacity. It'll be a massive upgrade for us. The new machine will also use a better, more economical refrigerant. The electrical cost will greatly be decreased with this upgrade, and it is absolutely necessary for us to do this upgrade if we're going to, stay in the same facility that we're in now. We've just outgrown the facility, and we want to modify it, stay in the city of Monroeville, and stay in our current building. But in order to do that, we have to upgrade in order to keep up with the demand and the company's growth.
Is there any, are you going to expand your area? Or are you increasing any employees or buying additional delivery trucks or any of these kind of?
Yes, sir, all of the above. When we first started the business, we were predominantly in Monroeville and maybe a few counties outside, like the neighboring counties. But now we're pretty much the only ice company in this part of the state. We service all the way from Fort Deposit as far south as Stapleton, as far west as Jackson Thomasville, and as far east as Andalusia. That's our area that we service, and we're looking to increase our production so that we can even expand and further. With this new expansion, we are looking to add at least 2 new employees. We added 1 last Monday. So because we just had we had some summer help, temporary help, that they went back to school, and we had to add a permanent full-time employee last Monday. But when this expansion happens, when this upgrade happens, we will end up having to add at least 2 more, maybe more. It just depends on where, what happens after we can make the ice to expand. Right now, we can't make enough ice. We can't expand now because we can't make enough ice. We've actually been having to, we bought 4 or 5 truckloads this summer. We're selling all we can make, plus we're buying ice from a neighboring ice company just to keep up.
Any more comments, questions? Seeing there being none, do I have a motion to adjourn public hearing regarding the tax abatement to Excel?
I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting of the tax collector.
Have a second? All in favor? Next item on the agenda for public hearing is sale of city property, which is identified as two parcels located on Sterling Drive to, Mr. Ron Wiggins and Mr. David Hutchins. Do we have any public comments concerning the sale of this property? There being none, do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing on the sale of the city property?
Motion, we adjourn this meeting for the sale of the.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda for a public hearing is review of weed and street and any public comment.
So we have five lawns on that resolution that are not cut, so we do have some that need to be cut. That's the resolution that say not.
Do we have any more public comment? Okay, there being none, do I have a motion to adjourn the review of
We need to.
public hearing?
We gotta approve or deny these. We need to approve or deny the thing. the five that-
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to approve the debate?
Make a motion to approve the date.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? I think there,
Yes,
all right, do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing for review of weed and debris?
Make a motion that we adjourn this meeting to review the weed and debris.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, all in favor? Thank you, that concludes our public hearing. Okay.
We did this. Mayor, you did well. You did well. Oh, what are you buying now? That's a good thing. Okay. Ain't gonna cost us nothing. Did you get one?
no. Okay.
I stole them all.
Look at you.
Yeah.
What is it, photocopy?
Yeah.
How many copies?
Yeah. All three. Yes, you know. Yeah. Yeah. That way they would have. Yeah, but they didn't have, it wasn't in a half a free. It's on my truck. Little video. Forward right. It didn't feel bad.
of this like back, so I had to make some changes. I can't see. I don't have a ring. Well, that's Joe Boston. Needs to be in there.
That's old TV. Old TV. You can never see me anything for flat screen stuff. For one big. Yeah, man, the console. They got gas. You can take
What they talking about?
Time now being 5 o'clock, I'd like to call the order the meeting of the city council of the city of Monroeville. On the agenda, first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the work session that held on August 3rd, 2021 at 2:45 p.m. Public hearing is held on August 3rd, 2021 at 4:45 p.m. And the regular meeting is held on August 3rd, 2021 at 5 p.m. So do I have a motion for the approval of the minutes?
I make that one.
Do I have a second? A second. All in favor? Okay. The next item on the agenda is the approval of a police new hire, Mr. Michael Lambert. Mr. Lambert has many years of experience in law enforcement. He also has served as chief deputy for the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. And I believe this is a part-time position for up to 30 hours. 30 hours per week. Do I have a motion to approve the hire of Mr. Michael Lambert? So moved. Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor? Okay, next item on the agenda is a police status change. Ms. Sandra Pugh from a cadet to a patrol officer. She has completed the APO certification process, and is now a certified police officer. And this will move her up to the status of a regular patrol officer at $17.54 an hour. Do I have a motion to approve the status change in the shopping queue? Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor? Okay. The next item on the agenda, is project agreement Location C LLC doing business as Mr. Reese's Homemade Treats, which we just conducted the public hearing on. Do I have a motion to approve the project agreement for Location C? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda is a project agreement for Christopher T.R. City Diner LLC. Do I have a motion to approve the project agreement for Christopher T.R. City Diner? Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have, all in favor? Okay.
One abstain.
Okay. Get that, man?
Yes.
One abstention. Okay. The next item on the agenda is resolution 21-08-004. This is the tax abatement for Excel Ice. They're upgrading their facility. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution 21-08-004 tax abatement for Excel Ice? Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay. The next item on the agenda is resolution 21-08-005, and this is the city of Monroeville COVID policy. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 21-08-005, city of Monroeville COVID policy? Do I have a second? Question? There being none, all in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda is resolution 21-08-006. We in brief set a public hearing for September 21st, 2021 at 4:55 p.m. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution 21-08-006 in the brief public hearing? Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda is a public works promotion, and this is for a recommendation by Public Works Director Michael Lassiter, in which he would like to promote Mr. Jimmy Moody from a truck driver to equipment operator 2 based upon Mr. Moody's experiences in training. He has experience in training and operating bulldozers, backhoes, front end loader, etc. He has strong problem solving ability, and he takes pride in his work. He also holds a Class A CDL license. And Mr. Lasker states that he has all the required skills, expertise, and experience for this position. This will come effective October 1st, going into the 21-22 budget year. Do I have a motion concerning the motion to approve the promotion of Mr. Jimmy Moody from a truck driver to an equipment operator 2? Okay, do I have a second? Any questions? All in favor? Okay, the next item on the agenda is resolution 21-08-007. And this is Governor Ivy's state of emergency proclamation. In this proclamation, the biggest issue that deals with it concerns the Open Meetings Act, in which it allows the council members to meet and conduct business via electronic means. We can have a forum uh, fulfill, by Zoom or teleconference call, or by whatever means is necessary. So it enables council members to also vote on the resolution and, other business to, in conducting business of the city. Do I have a motion to adopt Governor Ivy's state of emergency declaration? We have a resolution 21-08-007, and it basically falls in line with the governor's declaration, and this is declaring a state of emergency in the city of Monroe.
So.
Any discussion?
If we're gonna do this again, we still need to upgrade it, on this on our audio, because it's really hard to hear.
Yes,
On the
sir.
line, if you think you're listening,
Yes, sir.
I get a lot of complaints.
Okay. Also in line with this, Mr. Downey here, when we take a vote, I'm going to ask you, I didn't know you were gonna be here, I was told you were in an accident. I'm glad to see you up and going.
Yeah, I'm glad to be able
Do you have any updates where we stand with COVID right now?
Yeah, I appreciate the council time. June the second, June the sixth, we actually hit the low active COVID cases, what we call active COVID cases, which the last 14 days positive test or two. In Monroe County, that was June the sixth. Today we set the highest mark we've seen yet throughout this pandemic of active cases in Monroe County, 283. The previous high was 278 at the height in January this year. A lot of that has to do with highly contagious Delta variant, everybody's heard of. It spreads a lot faster, a lot quicker than the Alpha variant that we saw at the beginning of the year. Right now, it's not a question of availability of vaccine like it was in January. Everybody has the opportunity to get vaccine if they want to get vaccinated. I understand we got a lot of public events that we have going on, that have gone on. I'll just stress to everyone to still please try your best to practice social distance. This is so contagious right now. The only thing you can do to protect yourself is keep your hands washed, keep away from people when you can. Wear a mask if you feel comfortable wearing a mask. And you don't absolutely have to go to a large event. No. That's me. Again, it's a little bit different than trying to talk about shutdown stuff because we didn't have a vaccine to help us. We do that. So, limited state of emergency, y'all talking about it. Great thing to do to get that implemented. Also, part of that, outside of your forum needs in a council meeting, it talks about the hospital as well, being able to draw from help over state lines and stuff like that to help hospitals. Our hospital is absolutely packed. Nor do we have ICU beds in the state to send. I've already heard of a few cases where people are here that shouldn't be here because they need specialized help somewhere else. So we're in a tough spot. And I would encourage everybody to just, whatever your beliefs are, just pray for a little help and a little guidance and do your very best to help control this absolute horrendous pandemic we're in that's seems under control. So any help on that area would be much appreciated.
Any questions? Any questions? Okay, all in favor of adopting resolution 2021-08-007, which is declaring a state of emergency in the city of Monroeville, based on the governor's emergency declaration regarding COVID-19. Do I have a motion to adopt this resolution? So moved. Is there a second? Discussion's been had. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. recognize Mr. Paul England from Bank Trust. Understand we're having a celebration of retirement tomorrow afternoon. Congratulations. The city appreciates all that you have done in advising us, helping us to move this city forward. Thank you, sir.
Praying a lot for it.
Yes, sir. Okay, the next item I have my discussion is recycling of electronics, and I'd like Mr. Michael Lansing to come forward and make their presentation.
This is a company out of Mobile. They're actually a nonprofit. All the money that they make off of it goes to cerebral palsy and other, nonprofit organizations. They went ahead and brought us 7 crates, and we got them at the shop, and they'll take computers, laptops, DVD, Blu-ray players, cell phones, tablets, telephone, any kind of communication equipment, old audio cables, video cables, stuff like that, keyboards, old computer servers, flat screen TV, flat screen monitors, printers, fax machines. The only thing they can't take is any of the old TVs with tubes in them. Anything, or some of them old computer monitors with tubes in them, they cannot take them. That's something that has to be sent to Atlanta, and that's pretty costly for you to dispose of them now. So they can't take them, but pretty much anything with a power cord on it, they can take. But and what we're gonna do, we're gonna have some crates there at the shop, and I got one over here at the fire station. If somebody, I got one crate over here, that's all the room they got over here. It's just for one, we can change it out, but if most of the stuff can come to the shop, we'll be there from 6 in the morning to 2:30 in the evening. And we can accept it. And please do not leave nothing piled up out by the gate, because we need to make sure that what we put in crates is what they can take. So if you bring it by there from 6 a.m. to 2:30 in the evening, Monday through Friday, except on holidays.
For that service of disposal of that electronic, is the city having to pay for that?
No, sir, it don't cost the city nothing.
Would they be interested in taking any from other locations?
Oh, yes, sir. I can get you their contact. Matter of fact, their information's on here that you can, their number and all, and you can call them. And they'll be glad, because they wanting, right now, they serve Mobile and, all down around there. And he's expanded. He started out 5 years ago, and he started out with him and his son and a little old bitty shop. Now they got, I think it's a 12,000-foot warehouse, and I think it's 11 employees.
I've got about 30,000 things, but 18-wheeler loads that I was in the middle of getting disposed of. That's gonna cost quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And if they could do it and make money off of it, sell it, and donation.
Well, take one of these flyers here, the numbers on it, and you can contact them and talk with John or Rose, either one of them. John is actually the one that's hid this whole thing, and he can take care of everything. But yeah, they want to expand all over, as far as they can. And he's actually brought us crates, with cardboard boxes on them, and we just stack it in there. And he said, once I get them full, call them and bring some more. Come get them and bring some more.
And kind of the way this got started, you wanna, I guess with David Stewart
Yeah.
and the radio station, they were looking for a way to get rid of old stuff, and it just kind of started from that. And but David and Pat over there, they kind of was the ones who got the ball rolling.
Yeah, they were actually looking for somebody, because they had some electronics they had to get rid of. And when they found this company and found out how they do, that we contacted them, and they come up and talk with us.
I'm sure the county has their fair share that they would. That is actually filling a need.
Yeah.
Not only if it's free, that's a cherry on top of it, because we're willing to pay somebody to get it, we can't find anybody. So that's great.
What's the name of the company?
electronic recycling service.
And provide some clarification. The boxes that we have, that is basically for the residents of the city of Monroeville. So we don't have capacity for, to service the whole county. But I'm quite sure, we have Jeff contact this individual here, and he can make arrangements for the county.
We've been actively looking for something.
Okay. My next item on the agenda is, concerns the Economic Development Academy sponsored by the Alabama League of Municipalities. And I am, seeking the motion to authorize the city to register for this academy with a $2,500 registration fee. And it also asks for at least 2 city council members to register to attend. I ask, Councilmember Bruton, who's consented, and Councilmember Ruffin, who's consented. So do I have a motion to allow the city of Monroeville to apply for enrollment in the Economic Development Academy sponsored by the Alabama League of Municipalities, with the $2,500 registration fee? Do I have a second? Okay. Question? All in favor? Okay.
Items at the incubator.
Oh, yes. The next, item that I have, concerns the incubator building and, repairs and upgrades to the building in preparation for, the initial CDL training class. We're looking at, the options to, paint the, front side of the building where the classes are. Have a quote of $7,000. That would also include trimming of the windows and the doors. There needs to also be some work done on the roof to remove old air conditioning units. To patch or repair the spaces vacated by the air conditioning units. We have a quote of $2,000 from Strength Roofing. J&L has agreed to remove the units from the top of the building. In addition, if we waive rent for November and December, which comes to roughly about $5,200, which is what it would cost for them to remove those units, and they have the equipment to do it. So do I have a motion to authorize us to make the improvements to the incubator building? Do I have a second? Question?
We're gonna do the units come off of that.
I think it's fair. Did you sell them for scrap?
They have a scrap metal. These are just the lower units, it's not the condenser. So it's not,
It get the scrap probably goes, yeah, it's gonna be the whole can.
okay.
Any more questions? There being none? All in favor? I think that's pretty much all that I have. Councilman Bruce?
Everything is in the action we take in the same quarter.
That was, an update. I don't think we have to take it yet until they get the folks back. Then we'll take the termination, going to terminate contract. No, I don't. We will have to.
What was that? That, as far as I know, it's private. So I have no clue. You'd have to call Ricky and ask him. We don't have anything authority over it. No, we don't make appointments.
I have found it, the thing that, and who they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, we do.
We're waiting, Dent Ramsey is supposed to be surveying. And since that was a whole block that we have and now we're cutting it up, we're waiting on Dent to give us a description before we get back to the resolution. I have to have the description, and so we're waiting on Dent.
He was surveying yesterday. So.
Hopefully by the next council meeting, we can have all that. And it'll be done.
And when we do that, remember the restrictions we have to have in there, in the deed.
Okay.
We addressed some of the parking on the streets and Monroeville, I understand some calls this last week to that being taken care of, I think adequately. Also, there's some question about trucks parking in residential areas again. Keep a lookout for that.
Yeah, there's a couple, one on Main Street, one on the Circle. I've already got the dinner. Or the Confederate Circle, that's the right. I have a team in there, and I don't know where it is. When I go, I don't see it when I go, take a left, on Confederate Circle, in, you go just before you get to that curve, right there on the corner.
Captain, if you will, check with, Leah. I believe that there's a violation of federal military safety law, if they don't park those trucks in the residential area. So, you know, if you don't have the authority, they can send somebody to check. Anything else from the police? Yeah.
Just in addition to what you and the EMA director stated today, we received a letter from the state EMS division on Alabama Department of Public Health. And they have given a checklist to us if we respond to medical emergencies, and if you fall within certain shaded areas, is not to transport. We've never had that happen before because you're such dire need of bed space and hospital space. They're actually not transporting people if they're not severe enough to go. You know, we've never been able to do that. So just be aware that if we go and it meets this criteria and we don't transport them, you get a complaint. That's what it is.
Yeah, I just want to follow up on what the chief just said. I think everybody heard the report yesterday. The state of Alabama had 2 ICU beds available. There has been a report today that they're actually negative. If anybody needs to know what that means, we want patients getting ICU beds than they have actual ICU beds. So, good way to.
One other thing too, they started yesterday giving those booster shots. I know Walmart and I know for a fact Walgreens is doing it. If you meet certain
Yeah, there's a criteria I did put on the EMA website, the link to the press release from Public Health, and you do have to have a doctor's order. So just make sure you're on the list of criteria, get your doctor, get you an order, you can get a booster shot for the Moderna or Pfizer. And you need to take whichever one you took originally.
Right? No. Ben?
No, sir.
Okay. Don?
We're 4 weeks out from the tractor show,
Yeah.
so. Guess, I've gone ahead and ordered everything and we're well on our way, so, I guess we need to revisit that as we get closer to the time. Hopefully our numbers will be down.
Well, there's also an outside venue. As we get closer, we'll come back and look at it. Like I said, we'll be in the outside venue. Hopefully by that time, our numbers are up. I think I saw on your post where the number of people who have gotten at least 2 vaccinations is what, 29%?
30.
30.
And the site that updates, supposed to update to about the day it did, I don't have the exact numbers, but I think we're 40% on one shot and 28 or 29% from both completely vaccinated.
No.
Okay, this one has leave today on family emergency, so that's why she's not here. So I think we got everything covered. We'll get together with Mike.
Send me one. I said, I don't have one.
We'll get together. Oh, yeah.
I have a request today for temporary signage by Limestone Falk Church to put signs out in the public right of way, which the city council has to agree to. They are having a COVID shot drive and a COVID testing Friday, the 20th. They said they will pick their signs up when they're done. And I just need to get city council approval for them to put them in the right of way.
Do I have a motion to approve of the posting the signage for COVID vaccination by Limestone Falk Church for August 20th?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Got it. There being no further business of the city council of the city of Monroeville, Alabama, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting of Monroe City Council.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye.
I got.
Thank y'all, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So maybe I'll think of it. The water is in there.
And I got
In there. They made an offer to me.
You gotta get across there.
Come back and say, if you buy it, buy it.
Wait, mine.
Now, when you know, they say, it's not- it's gonna go back to this. Oh. And I got $500. It's insulated on.
Well, one thing I told Mike, when the guys robbed him, Mike was over to look at it. The other one, that principal we had, didn't have the little safety line, didn't have the box. And so that's what was happening. People were just looking at it. Well, yeah, but you
Let me just make this.
Okay.
We got our second, big weird, big weird. So I'm gonna give that.
Mine,
It's all about. Which I think about, we. That everybody was across the but she didn't want the temperature was bad. But after I. Got all that. Yeah, she can get it right there. I got it signed up. Where at? Walter.
I wanted to ask you if I could stick to see it was not.
Yeah, part-time.
And
Yes, it's really
Oh, yeah.
can I go by? They're already open.
Yeah, I know, but we don't use it.
What usually does in the store.
What we usually do is this is had a chamber cutting, go down to that and we get a little information.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna do I had to do a full-fledged thing on this one. Long go rain.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I had a little deal. They all have a real steep hill, so.
Well, they are.
House was wrong.
And the next Monday, I think,